All right, today we are getting into David McCullough's incredible book, The Path Between the Seas.
And it's more than just a history book. It's an epic.
So much more. It's the story of how you literally slice a continent in two, and in doing so, completely change the map of global trade.
Exactly. Our mission today is to really distill the core lessons from that whole complex story, the engineering, the politics, the human cost, all of it, from about 1870 right through the opening in 1914.
And that's really the question, isn't it? What does it cost, not just in dollars, but morally and politically to do that? We hear about the engineering miracle, but the book shows it's just as much a story of imperial ambition.
And staggering human sacrifice.
The first thing that really jumps out isn't the digging, it's the politics, the diplomacy.
Absolutely.
I mean, the canal only exists because of some very deliberate, let's say strategic American political moves.
Well, securing the canal zone is the big one. And you can't ignore the role the U.S. played in Panama's. But yeah, it's very sudden independence from Colombia.
That wasn't a side story. It was the story.
And McCullough makes it so clear that even the big technical debates like building a sea-level canal versus one with locks.
A huge, huge debate at the time.
Massive. But it was always driven by corporate interests and, frankly, by American naval strategy. It was a projection of power.
So if the U.S. gets to decide where global progress happens, you immediately have to ask who ends up paying the price for that kind of power.
And that political maneuvering leads you right to the human tragedy.
Yes.
The foundation of that canal is built on the lives of tens of thousands of workers, most of them recruited from the Caribbean.
And the conditions. I mean, you read about the constant landslides, the incredible heat.
And the two invisible killers, yellow fever and malaria. The death toll during the French attempt was just horrifying, sometimes hundreds a month.
It was. But the book also dives into the injustice built right into the system, this gold roll versus silver roll pay scale.
It's essential context. It was basically a racialized caste system right on the books.
Gold for the skilled white workers, silver for the black Caribbean laborers.
And that one distinction determined everything. Your wages, your housing, your food, your status, all while they were doing the most dangerous work.
So what was the turning point? How did they overcome all that?
It's a pivot to public health. The canal only became possible once the U.S. applied that brand new scientific knowledge about how mosquitoes spread disease.
Right, the sanitation campaign.
A massive one, draining every bit of standing water, screening buildings. It was this direct link between scientific discovery and political will. The death rates just plummeted after that.
And that creates another core tension in the book. You have this soaring rhetoric.
This idea of unifying humanity.
Exactly. But McCullough puts that right next to the corruption and the spectacular financial collapse of the French phase, led by Ferdinand de Lesseps.
Lesseps, the hero of Suez. He was essentially running on pure hype. The book shows how technical experts who warned a sea-level canal was nearly impossible were just silenced.
So that grand narrative of progress was really a tool for selling stock.
It was. And it's a vital lesson about these mega projects. You can have a grand vision coexisting with total misinformation.
And then when the canal finally opens in 1914, it really does lock in America's role as a global power.
For the next century. It cemented the U.S. as a true two-ocean naval and commercial force, but also established a pattern of intervention in Latin America.
So you walk away from the book with this powerful dual legacy.
On the one hand, it's an absolutely stunning feat of engineering. You can't deny that.
But it's also a monument resting on imperial power and on an immense amount of undervalued human labor.
Which leaves you with a final thought to wrestle with.
Go on.
When a democracy expands its global reach by compromising the self-determination of smaller nations, how should we remember that history? And looking forward, what would a more just, a truly cooperative model of world-making even look like today?